Regular viewers will know by now that managing freight traffic on the railway is something which occupies a fair amount of my time during running sessions. However, I do run regular services of passenger trains, though they don't tend to feature as often in my videos. This little video aims to rectify that to some extent. Passenger trains, including mixed trains, are organised according to a daily timetable. It's actually based quite heavily on the Southwold Railway timetable from 1923. As you can see, there are 2 morning passenger trains each way, a midday passenger, and 3 afternoon passenger trains. In this video, we shall follow the midday passenger train as it makes its way down the line, and then as it returns as the 1 p.m. afternoon service up the line. The midday passenger is standing at the platform at Beaston Market Station, awaiting the arrival of the Up Sand train, which today is hauled by Black Hawthorn 040 Loco No. 14 Burwardsley. The Sand train makes its way to the exchange siding, where it will later discharge its hoppers into wagons on the LNWR Crewe to Chester main line. Once it gets the all clear, our train can depart. It is pulled by Peckett Loco No. 1 Peckforton. I realised, when I was preparing for this session, that I rarely use this loco these days, though back in the day it was probably the most used loco, as at the time it was the railway's only proper loco. We now hop aboard the balcony of the last carriage to get a passenger's eye view of the train's departure. Although the signals were constructed 10 years ago, I've only just gotten around to motorising all 20 with linear servers, mini receivers and tiny Seeduino processors, all powered by a single 3.7 volt lithium-ion cell. Our train now passes the copper mine, which in reality is 4 miles further down the line, but is positioned here to allow empty skips to be exchanged for full ones via a hidden loop back to Beaston Market Station. I call this part of the line Guano Junction, as birds use the apple tree above as a handy launching and landing point for their forays to the bird feeders, and kindly leave their calling cards over the track. The train is now approaching Beaston Castle Station, which lies beside the hedge at the back of the garden. We are now coasting into Beaston Castle Station, named after the castle which sits on the crag above. It has long been a well-known tourist destination, with day trippers from Manchester, Liverpool and far beyond. As our train waits to depart, we see to the right Beaston Brewery. The diminutive structure in the centre acts as a ticket office for both the railway and the castle. Our train gets the all clear to proceed and makes its way over the line below, which is actually the approach to Bickton station, which we glimpse to our left as we plunge into a small thicket of trees. When the train emerges, it is beside the River Gowie, which tumbles down beside the Peckforton Hills on its journey to the rivers Weaver and Mersey, and also feeds the Manchester Ship Canal. Rounding the curve, we pass over the level crossing on the approach to Peckforton Station. Very few passengers, i.e. just 1, are waiting to travel down the line to Bulkeley and Bickton at this time of day. After all, those villages are in the back of beyond. Station Master Willie Shaw supervises the arrival of the train and spends a few moments catching up with the local news from the driver of our train. In a very short while, we are ready to proceed. The starter signal is pulled off, giving permission for the train to pass over the viaduct and thence onward towards Bulkeley Station, our next stop. We proceed onwards. The present viaduct was constructed 10 years ago, a plywood frame covered with a couple of thousand individually carved balsa wood blocks, à la Peter Jones's excellent book on garden railway buildings. The watermill is a scribe PVC foam board structure and is based on a generic design of several mills found locally on the banks of the River Gowie. We are now storming up Gallantry Bank on the way to Bulkeley. It is rumoured that the name Gallantry is derived from gallows tree, as there was once a gibbet at the crossroads near its summit, where highwaymen's and other ne'er-do-wells' bodies were hung to rot as a warning to others. In the distance we can see our next destination, Bulkeley Station. However, our train needs to approach it from the opposite direction to preserve the illusion of the local geography being compressed into the garden. We swing once more across Guano Junction, this time from the opposite direction, before taking the line behind the workshop once more. We traverse the swing bridge on our approach to Bulkeley Station. Constructed 16 years ago from UPVC trim, it is based on the first bridge across the River Blythe at Walberswick on the Southwold Railway. It swings back to allow easy access to the workshop and garden shed when the railway is not in operation. Loco number 1 coasts to a halt. Sound is provided by an early Phoenix 2K2 sound card, which was considered very advanced in its day. Certainly, the brake squeal is quite realistic. As our train sits beside the platform at Bulkeley Station, the Up Daily Pickup Goods steams in, hauled by Care Stewart 042 Loco number 23 Bunbury. This loco is based on the Metropolitan Water Board's loco Sunbury, and its body has been designed, 3D printed and constructed in the PLR workshops on a Bachmann Lynn motor block. With the road ahead now clear, our train can proceed. The Boneworks building on the right is constructed from foam board and is based on the Etruria Bone Mills building in Stoke-on-Trent. There was actually a Boneworks at Tattenhall a few miles from Bulkeley, but of course they would have constructed it beside the Peckforton Light Railway if it had actually existed. Our train now starts the descent of the other side of Gallantry Bank. In fact, it's crossing Guano Junction once more and retracing its steps to help squeeze the mileages needed to complete the journey to Bickton. Arriving at Bickton on time, our train coasts in. In reality, Bickton is a tiny village, but in my imagined history, it has become a thriving township due to the revenue from the copper mines and its knock-on effects on the local economy. "19 minutes later, the 1 p.m. Up passenger service is ready to depart. Some of the passengers on the platform are 3D scanned and printed figures of friends from our local amateur theatre, who kindly dressed up in 1930s costumes to provide some period-related atmosphere. With the Boneworks clearly visible ahead, the train breasts Gallantry Bank once more and steams into Bulkeley Station. As it coasts to a halt beside the platform, 4 more miniaturized thespians, including my wife, who has her back to us, holding a small dog in her arms, are awaiting transportation to Beaston Market and maybe beyond. Here we have a fine view along the swing bridge from the platform. Station Master James Twiss, looking very smartly turned out, supervises the train's departure. As the signal arm drops, the driver, young Tom Stockton, opens the regulator and we are off once more. Here we have a fine view from the other side of the swing bridge. The line towards the copper mine and Beaston Market Station is just visible between the stems of the fir trees on our right. as we pass across the front of the workshop before we turn behind it to make our way towards Peckforton. Passing beside the watermill once more, we are now approaching Peckforton station. The home signal is on, and so we must pause. A blast of the whistle reminds Willie Shaw that we are here. Once he has the all clear, young Tom, old Tom his father is also a driver on the railway, opens up the regulator, and our train can now proceed onwards and into the station. Not a particularly picturesque view as we cross the viaduct into the station, but we catch a glimpse of the goods siding and the boiler house for the sawmill's steam engine on the edge of the station yard. As our loco simmers quietly beside the platform, Black Hawthorn loco number 14 Burwoodsley storms in with a down empty sand train. The loco is based on photos of Kettering Furnaces number 3 taken at Midday Castle, and the hoppers are based on those found on the Snail Beach and District Railways. The line ahead is now clear, and so our train can continue its journey up the line towards Beaston Castle station. The names of railway personnel and some of the passengers are taken from local census returns. I have taken the liberty of assigning roles of the most likely candidates to jobs on the railway. My apologies to their living descendants. We cross and pass beside the River Gowie once more. Although in this vicinity the river is little more than a brook, it amazingly had over 25 watermills drawing power from its flow. As our train draws into Beaston Castle station above, the sand train is passing on the line below, commencing its climb up Gallantry Bank towards Bulkeley station. It's actually passing over the junction to the sand quarry, but ignores it until it has looped through Bulkeley and descended Gallantry Bank on the return trip. Oh, the power which a garden railway modeller can wield over reality. I've always enjoyed operational aspects of railway modelling, and have carried that through into the garden. Although they are an added complication, for now I'm really relishing having working signals. Our journey down and back up the line is now drawing to a close. As we head once more to Guano Junction, we catch a passing glimpse of the sand train as it starts its descent down Gallantry Bank towards the sand quarry junction at its foot. We make our way once more behind the workshop, and thence onwards, back towards Beaston Market, the hub of the railway. As we pass once more beside the copper mine, we can survey the ongoing progress of track ballasting, since this area was completely refurbished at the start of the year after severe rot was uncovered in the underlying timbers. There's still more detailing and weathering to be done, but some of that will be carried out naturally as the repair work slowly matures. Our train now pulls into Beaston Market Station, with a few passengers patiently awaiting its arrival. On the exchange siding to the left, we see an empty ore train waiting to depart. No sooner does one train arrive than another is ready to take its place. Life is certainly never dull on Peckforton Light Railway. As soon as it gets the all clear, the ore train starts its departure. The IP Engineering Jessie loco has undergone several rebuilds over the past 12 years, It now has a USA Trains motor block and an M-Tronics sound card. The skip wagons are simply weathered LGB bog-standard tipplers, accumulated in dribs and drabs as the railway developed and grew. I hope you've enjoyed watching this little episode as much as I have enjoyed running and filming it.